A wide receiver blocking me.
He might have got a shoelace, maybe.
The Players Club is presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders.
And by Northwest Federal Credit Union. Stop searching, go Northwest. Check out nwfcu.org/Washington and how Northwest can help make your money work for you. Stop by a branch or visit nwfcu.org/Washington today. Welcome to another episode of the Players Club. I'm London Fletcher, joined as always by my man, 8 to the 9, Santana Moss. And we got a special guest, rookie defensive end, KJ Henry.
Yes, sir.
KJ, we appreciate you joining us on the show.
Appreciate it.
All right, man, we like to start each show off with your top 3. This healthy conversation is presented by Cigna Healthcare. Tanner, take it away.
KJ, who are your top 3 defensive ends of all time? And they don't have to be the best, just the guys you like.
Yeah.
Who motivated you to be who you are?
I think one of them's Von Miller. The way he bends the edge and the effort he plays with, just it's contagious. I'd say Lawrence Taylor. Dude, just, I don't even think he needs
relentless.
And I'd have to say I really like Max Crosby's game. This is a guy who's more of our generation. Once all those guys had that relentless this to him, and that's kind of what I'd like to sprinkle into my game.
I like how he went old. He went a little like what, last decade and then today. You know.
You mentioned your dad Keith.
Yeah.
Grew up a Washington fan.
Yep.
Draft night, there was the viral video of him running upstairs, coming downstairs with a Redskins jersey. Has he been able to make many games this year?
He has up to this point now. They just finished their season. He's the safeties coach at North Carolina A&T, so they just finished up, and now he's trying to catch as many as he can. He's easily the one, the most supportive father out there. Especially for someone in this profession.
Right.
Watches every game, but definitely trying to make some. He'll make a few more home games this year, so he's always up here as much as he can be.
So growing up, was it a lot of Washington on Sundays for you growing up?
It was on. I've had to, come clean about this a few times ever since I got here. I was a Philly fan.
Oh, okay.
Growing up.
Oh, a house divided.
As a kid.
Son.
Oh, yeah.
Is you my kid?
At least he didn't say Dallas.
Nah. That's the nasty part of the family. But Donovan McNabb, man, I love the way he played the game. That's what kind of like the foul came to.
Yeah,
so.
he had a little hoop in him too.
Yeah, so I was a Philly fan. So house a little divided, but obviously same division. We was always watching. So
it's something about our division rivals that when we say Philly, they okay, but something about the Giants and the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
We don't like those two guys. I don't know why the Eagles get all the slack. I mean, we kind of let them off the hook, and their fans are terrible to us, So that was all right,
Equal hatred for all 3 of them now, for sure.
Time for the player profile presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders. Does your dad still coach you? Do you find him still? Does he like, hey, you could have did this, or is he just dad now?
He still gives me tips. He knows I'll listen to him. This wasn't necessarily, we both kind of understand this. Like, this wasn't necessarily a level he reached. Yeah. He understands that too, but he still knows football, right? So he'll let me know, especially coming up through college, if my effort was, starting to slack, or if he can see one player has this and I don't, then he'll, make me aware of those things. But as far as like the technique and all that stuff, he's kind of regressed from that and just let me kind of continue to develop myself. But he's definitely still, we're together and trying to just make me get better and better. Yeah.
I'm curious to know. I got 2 sons, and being a ex-football player, I never wanted to have them look at me as a coach.
Yeah.
So I never wanted to coach them.
Yeah.
But you always want to give them pointers. Now your dad is a coach.
Yeah.
You brought up in this game. Which son are you when it comes to comparing you to my kids? Now my oldest son, he's a junior, so I'm probably understand why he's like he is. He listened. He wasn't into football, but when he started playing, we'll go out there and produce.
Yeah.
My youngest, he was into football since 5, but he don't listen. And so I get to the point now, I don't even want to give him no advice. I'm like, I'm going to get somebody else to give him some advice. As a player coming up under a coach like your dad, How was it for you? Was you one of those kids that kind of didn't want to hear it, or was you a guy that said, you know what, Dad knows. He's my dad. I respect him as my dad, and even on the coaching side of things, I still look at him and view him, his leadership like a dad. How was you as a coach's son?
Yeah, just like your son. So I have a little brother as well, and I was like your oldest. I listened, I felt like pretty well. As I matured, then I really understood that, you know, because he didn't really yell at me or was never really aggressive in that matter, so I didn't get too emotional or sensitive when he tried to correct me, right? So I was able to learn that, and once I learned that, then him coaching me became real easy. My youngest brother, he's a hooper now. He's really done with football, but when he was playing football, he wasn't trying to hear what Dad was talking about at all. I mean, now he's going into his junior or senior year next year, and he's 6'4". Like, he's got the size, so he was just killing them boys in middle school. He wasn't trying to hear nothing my dad was talking about, so that's probably why he stopped playing football.
That is crazy, man.
What do you like to do off the field? Like, what's KJ like away from the football field, at home? You know, what do you do?
Especially your first kind of year of being a young man. Like, you got your own bills, responsibilities.
I'm boring, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm so boring. Like, I'll go home. Now it's the biggest. Like, most thing I do, I just get on the game, or decompress and watch some Netflix shows. But that's really it. I'm really a lot to myself. You know, my circle and my family is pretty tight, so just want to keep it centered around that and around business. This first year, and anytime I step into something new, I really want to just learn, right? Yeah. And so that's what I've taken all this time to do. Even outside when I'm, away of football, just learning what it's like to pay bills, be on my own, learn the area, you know what I'm saying, before I can really start to get comfortable in my routine and things like that. So this year, I just been chilling, to be honest with you.
Well, that was a great answer.
Yeah.
I'm boring.
He made me that much more of a fan of him. Say he's boring, he gonna sit in the house, get himself ready to get out here and come play some football.
Yeah. All right, so we're just getting started here on the Players Club. When we come back, we're gonna talk to KJ about his first year, and we're also gonna take a look at some of his biggest plays.
Welcome back to the Players Club. It's your boy, 8 to the 9. Got my main man here, London Fletcher. None other than our phenom here, young KJ Henry. KJ, you're on your rookie year. Has it been probably the season that you probably imagined or expected? We all been there before. Yeah. But tell me, how has it been to be a rookie right now in the National Football League and going through what you're going through? Now getting experience to even play right now. It's time for Protect the House, brought to you by Johnson Kendall Johnson, the official insurance broker and risk management partner of the Washington Commanders, where our passion is your protection.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, it could be hated on sometimes, but like, I'm just such a big perspective person, and regardless of our record, like, it's been a blessing. It's been awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously want to win every single time we step out on the field, but just knowing my younger self, wanting to be on this level, wanting to play, wanting to perform. Even earlier this year, being an inactive player, just being able to play and kind of help impact the team has been cool. And now obviously it's been, like you said, it's been a struggle, but it's different at Clemson, but when you lose 3 games in a season, it feels the same. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, the city's against you, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, like, the roof is falling through everybody's acting like it's all over. And so I've had that feeling before, and I'm weathering it a lot better now than I had in the past. And but just to be, like I said, on this level, playing with this level of competition is what I've always wanted to do. So I'm happy to be here.
One thing I want to mention, and this is something that you probably already have this kind of mindset, but us as football players, being in your shoes, we care less about the record. At the end of the day, you get a chance to go out there and make a statement of why you here and why you deserve to be here and why you worthy of being here next year and further on. So if you play with that kind of mindset and you go out here, it's contagious. The other guys will see it, and it will kind of they will be able to feel that energy, and you're going to get the guys that's going to respond to off of the things that you're doing. So that's a great mindset to have, because at the end of the day, we have a job, and that's what we want. All the 11 men on each side to kind of play on that same with that same kind of mindset on one accord. And if we can get the guys to all buy in and be on that same page, then we'll get success.
Well, just to piggyback off that, when you watched KJ against the Dolphins, and the score was obviously out of hand, but when you see him continue to pursue the football, continue to make plays, that's what you want to see.
Yeah,
it's easy to be up, you know, everybody all in when it's going great. How are you when the adversity sets in?
Yeah.
And you showed that. For you, what has been your wow moment in the NFL? Like, man, this is the NFL.
I could say one, but I'm gonna let you say it first.
Yeah, the negative wow moment was happening in New England.
In New England.
Yeah,
man. I'm like, wow.
I mean,
what an experience, huh?
You take it, like I said, I'm a perspective person, so I take away from the play, and I'm like, dude, there's not a lot of people in the NFL who would just be able to come that free, you know, and hit a quarterback that hard
and perfectly get off.
You know what I'm saying? And some of my teammates were like, KJ, why don't you get up and celebrate? I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, when I hit him and I saw yellow, something just didn't feel right. Like, I'm like, there's no way that was on me. So I was so confused, but it didn't get fined. And you know, as frugal as I am, I'll scratch it. You know, on to the next. But the positive definitely was my first sack. That was a really cool moment. That, you know, like I talked about earlier, my dad's been coaching, but that was his first game getting to see me in person.
Oh wow.
And my mom was here as well, so that was just a really cool moment, man. And that was, you know, my first play of the game being in.
Right.
So it all just happened so fast, man. And you know, as you guys know, when you make plays early, the rest of the day gonna be a good old day. You know,
you made a couple plays that game.
So that just gave me the confidence, which you definitely need and lean on as a young player. So those are probably my two moments.
You flashed quick. I mean, it was like one of those things. Like it was almost like we just traded those guys away, and boom, you here. You know what I mean? How has that experience been for you? I mean, you was here with Tez, with Young, and watching them, and then now you get your opportunity. What have you taken from them to allow your process or your situation to be what it is today?
I'll say first off what I learned, and this is going back to college, when I'm surrounded by really good football players, not to compare myself. And that's something I had to learn at Clemson with the Dexters, the Christians, the Cleveland Farrells, Isaiah Simmons, all those great football players who are on teams now, is not to compare myself to their success. We can all eat, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I was able to come in with the right mindset of just learning from two really good players. And then when they leave, it's like, all right, well, as a young player, one thing, I might not have the experience as my advantage, but I have the usefulness, the energy, and the relentlessness that you know that a lot of guys don't have when they're older. That just is how the game goes. So, wanted to make sure I display that. You know, I'm a rookie, 5th round draft pick. I was, you know, telling Dre this the other day, like, not a lot of us even expected us to play, let alone make plays. So I get to play with the freedom of just playing 100 miles a minute, man, and making sure it's known that I'm playing as hard as I can and trying to make plays. And, you know, the technique things and, you know, the moves and all those stuff, that's what I was able to just kind of add on from Chase and Tez.
That's a winning mindset, though. I mean, that transfer over into wins and you dominating at your position. So that's a great perspective. Like you said, you're a perspective person. I can see that and I can hear it.
Yeah. KJ, this is, as you mentioned, your rookie season. What so far to you has been your most rewarding moment? And it could be not just in the pros, it could also be college or high school.
Let's take a look at the most rewarding moments brought to you by Fanatic Sportsbook, the most rewarding sportsbook.
I would say for me, and people who know my story and have heard me speak now, the most rewarding was being able to help my dad get his new kidney. It was me being able to, you know, use all my platform and everything as influence for something that actually mattered, right? You know, as far as being a professional athlete, it's great when you can use it, you know, for money things and boost your marketable value or things like that, right? But for it to be a genuine, you know, help to my pops and, you know, spreading his story and getting him a new kidney, that was very self-gratifying. I'd say that's probably the best moment, you know, of my life.
That's what's up, man. We love hearing it, man. Hey, stay with us. So when we come back, we'll be watching KJ's top plays from this season.
Welcome back into the Players Club. London Fletcher here with Santana Moss and rookie defensive end KJ Henry.
Yes, sir.
KJ, it's time to take a look at some of your best plays from this season. Let's take a look at Driving Towards Greatness, presented by Eastern's Automotive Group. Any car, any way, for everyone since 1988. We're going to start it off with you against the hated New York Giants, man. Take us through this play.
Yeah, man. So we had a tackle and end stunt here. I go first.
Oh, they gave you a half of that?
There we go. Okay, I'm glad someone else said it. I go first, and you know, pick for Payne, and he wraps around.
Right.
You know, Payne is a great player. I think he might have got a shoelace, maybe. And the rookie, you know, tried to finish the play, but
they gave him a half.
Yeah, they gave him a half, man. I ain't gonna say it. You know,
they do the Pro Bowlers.
Yeah. You know, he been playing in this league. You know, it's all
good. The crazy part, you'll have teammates call the league to try to get parts of the half a sack.
Might have been what happened right there.
I think they gave it to him at the stadium. They gave him the half a sack at the stadium. But great stunt by you to pick that guard and end up working your way to get free. Let's take a look at this next play by you.
This next one, man, it's against the same team. This is your full sack right here.
Yeah. This is why I couldn't be mad at him, because we pretty much ran a stunt again, just the other way around. And, you know, he made sure, did a great job. Payne did a great job making the quarterback step up. And I just had to make sure I was, you know, finishing the play.
I remember watching this play from the suites at the stadium, and that's what it stood out to me. I said something to B. Mitch. I said, B. Mitch, you know what I'm seeing from the young fella? I say, not only is he understood that, okay, I can't get to him from how I'm going, but I'm finna spy him and follow him and came up with the sack. Yeah. That's big right there, bro. Yeah. That stuff right there, that's not really, you know, coached. You know what I mean? You out there showing your effort and making something happen.
Yeah, finishing it.
No doubt.
And finishing. All right, let's take a look at this. This play right here, one of my favorite plays, and the reason why is a wide receiver, no offense, Tanner, tried to block you, tried to crack block you.
Yeah.
My mentality, and I hope yours is the same, it seemed like it ain't no wide receiver blocking me.
No doubt, man. I was really, you know, proud of this play, obviously for the result, but just how we repped it so many times during the week. Miami's scheme is very complicated. And a lot of times it's not even who's blocking you, it's just the fact that they have leverage.
Yeah,
right. You know that more than anything. Yeah. So this was, you know, a testament to just the coaches this week of making sure that, you know, I'm trying to get vertical off the ball, and then when I get up there, like you said, just finish and make the play that's coming my way. So John Allen did a great job of helping, you know, me, the younger guy, you know, just by saying you don't got to make every play, but do your best to make all the plays that are around you, and that really made it, you know, simpler in my head and allowed me to play faster.
That key word you said about them creating leverage. Mike McDaniels, when he was here, he was our run game specialist, and he was my wide receiver coach, and he was also the run game specialist in San Fran. Yeah. But that's what he prided himself on. He understands the speed of the game, and they have a lot of it. So if he can create that leverage, then he can dominate you. And for you to know that and come into that goes to show you definitely in your book studying.
Yeah,
I like that.
These guys don't have to, you know, be big and strong and power. Like, they just have to get in the way. They got like 8 guys running 4 threes. You know what I'm saying? So if you can slow anybody down playing defense versus these guys for a quick second, they gone. You know, so we got to be able to play fast too.
And don't let them pencil necks block you.
That too.
Wide receivers.
For sure.
All right, now we got a bonus clip here that we want to show.
Yeah. OG.
We got a Jeremiah Trotter? Is that
it is. Jeremiah Trotter's son was my teammate.
Wow.
So this was awesome, man. That's
dope.
A moment I'll never forget. My family's in there. The theme was, you know, wear an NFL jersey. That's why you see the freaking Cowboys jersey. Everybody wearing their favorite team, but obviously this was my favorite one. You know, like I said, my pop's been a Washington fan, and you know, I can only imagine your son, you know, gets to live out his dreams, but it's for your favorite team. Yeah. He talks about how happy he is all the time, which makes me happy. So definitely one of the best days.
I remember talking to my mom that moment. I got between my mom and my dad, and I'm like, y'all better not be mushy. I ain't want to cry. I'm like, so don't have me sitting here with no tears. And I probably didn't want to be mushy because I was going to New York too. So I was like, but that's a great moment.
It was awesome.
Oh man,
really
that is wonderful. Hey KJ, we have all our guests sign our helmet, and if you don't mind, we'd love for you to sign that.
Honored, bro.
And as you sign it, we wanted to ask you what's next. What these next 4 ball games, rest of the season, what can we expect from KJ Henry?
Man, I'd say I'm just trying to build on consistency. You know, like you guys have talked about, flashes here and there, and as I continue to, you know, build my confidence in this defense, you know, with this team and this scheme, I feel like a mistake a lot of us young players make, and just in general, is trying to do too much, right? And so, like I said, the old guys have really helped me with my mindset, and I think once you think faster, you play faster, and so I'm just trying to build on consistent, games where I'm playing well, showing good technique, good effort to the ball all the time, and I've always thought, that's where plays come in. I'm it's a little against the grain, but I've never really been a guy who's had a lot of different goals for different years. I just try and stick to a standard of how I play and how I come to work each day, and then I can always live with the result. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I think consistency is really just what I'm looking forward to end the season.
We can win with that, brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I like it.
Absolutely. Hey, great episode here with KJ Henry. Welcome back to the Players Club. We just got finished chatting with KJ Henry. Now we about to jump into the Hall of Fame all-time teams for each one of us, Tanner.
Yeah.
This is the criteria we're going to go by. So for Tanner, being that he's an offensive guy, we're going to let him pick his offensive team. He gets to go with a quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, and 1 offensive lineman. Me, as a defensive player, I'm going to counteract his team with I get 1 D lineman, 2 defensive backs. It can be cornerbacks or safeties of my choice. And I also get 2 linebackers. And since Santana said I cheated the last time we did this, when we had our all-time teams within the Redskins or Washington players, I'm going to go first. And I'm going to start first with my first defensive lineman. And for this, I'm going to go.
Who you got?
I'm going to go with somebody that, who I think is the greatest defensive player ever. He's not the one that most people mention. Reggie White.
Oh, I was going to assume that.
Reggie White.
Yeah.
And the reason why I went with Reggie White is his versatility. Reggie White, there's time he can line up against everybody on the offensive line.
Okay.
From your left tackle to your right tackle, and he's going to whoop everybody.
Okay.
He was unblockable. 300 pounds, great stopping the run, great at rushing the passer, had that hump move that couldn't be stopped. You remember him in the Super Bowl.
No, I do.
And he gave the New England Patriots that hump move twice. That's my D lineman. Who you gonna counteract him with?
I'm gonna counteract that with someone who I believe that changed the position. He's changed what we look at offensive linemen today. And back then, I don't think it was no position on the O-line that can play the game the way this guy played, because he basically was the best. Anthony Munoz.
Okay.
Munoz. That's how you pronounce it.
Munoz.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to counteract that, I mean, don't get me wrong, like one of the best athletically.
That's a great one.
When I think about him, the technique, sound, just erase guys. I mean, guys got in front of him and you didn't even know they was there today. They didn't show up to work. You know what I mean? Those guys was on milk cartons. You know,
they were missing.
They was missing.
All right.
And that's why I'm like, I kind of felt that you was gonna bring me some fire. You're a defensive mind.
Oh yeah.
With your defensive, pedigree.
I was surprised that you were with Munoz. I didn't know that he was on your radar. That's a good one. Him and Reggie White gonna have a great battle.
Yeah. All
right, now I'm gonna give you my 2 defensive backs, and I know I'm already thinking. I know you're gonna come with some fire with your corner and with your wide receiver. So I'm thinking ahead of that. I'm gonna go with I'm going with prime.
I already know.
Deion Sanders.
I already know.
He's prime. I'm putting him up against anybody. That don't even go at him. Okay. I know you're gonna probably come with your guy right, whoever else. So Deion Sanders, he's gonna be my first guy.
Okay.
My second defensive back, and I was like, okay, do I go safety? Do I go corner? I'm gonna go both. I'm gonna go a guy who can do both.
I already know you're talking about Rod Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
I
was gonna go Rod.
Yeah.
But Rod, he tore his ACL and he lost some of his versatility and ability to play corner. Charles Woodson.
I like that.
He can play the corner. He was all pro at corner.
He could play
He was
safety.
all pro as a nickel.
Yeah.
He was defensive MVP.
Yeah.
later in his career, he went and played safety.
Yeah.
He can play both safeties. So I get whatever you come with me. I got guys.
I like that. And the thing about it, see, that's when I know you already lost, when you can show me those. Because to me, I thought that was the best you can get. No, those guys there had to be the most solidest guys on your defense. And don't get me wrong, linebacker position is going to be one of those too that you had to look at. But I got the guy for all linebackers, so I'm not even worried about it.
I already know.
So
I got an idea.
Since you said you got Prime, you know who Prime had his toughest matches up against? One of my favorite wide receivers of all time, Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
You know, and it would have been stupid of me to be on this show talking about all-star, all-pro, all Hall of Fame style offenses and not mention Jerry Rice when I got an opportunity to pick a receiver. So Jerry Rice would be number one. And this other guy I'm finna pick, man, Prime, lucky he missed this guy era because no one wanted to see Randy Moss. Randy Moss was the cheat code to wide receivers. This guy here, he put his hand up, and we know how that ended. Many of guys been on the end of that when he put his hand up and must just march you.
Tyler, you realize we talking about Prime here. You said Prime is lucky he missed.
Hey,
Can you imagine
I love
what
Prime.
Deion go say? Deion be like, what you?
Hey,
Randy Moss, he want that smoke.
I love Prime. He was a guy that made me like Florida State growing up, and he was a Florida boy that I watched closely. He ran punts back. But I just know, man, the eras. You know, we talk about eras.
Yeah.
And in that era when he was going neck to neck with your boy Jerry wasn't running like that, and Jerry was still giving Prime the minute every now and then, but he was a technician.
Okay.
This freak of nature here, man, and Randy, man, he just put that hand up, and besides putting the hand up, he could catch a slip screen or two like the little young bucks do today. You know what I'm saying? And just make it happen. You saw that. You saw his rookie year what he did to the Cowboys. You saw that.
But the Cowboys didn't have Prime out there.
You're right, and that's why I say he lucky he won there.
Okay, all right. This gonna be so linebacker. Now, when I went into my linebackers, I had to go into my mind as a GM, and I'm like, okay, think about who Tanner's gonna come at me with a running back. I know he's gonna have somebody that can do it all, can catch passes out of the backfield, all those types of things. So I said, you know what? I need a great cover linebacker. I need somebody great in space, can hit, do all those things. And I said, I'm gonna go down to the state of Florida, where you're from, and get Derek Brooks.
Ooh.
I'm getting Derek Brooks.
Yeah,
he's my cover backer.
Hard hitter, he can do it all.
He's my cover backer. I'm gonna get Derek Brooks because he can do it all. He can cover.
Yeah.
You know, we intercept passes, all that thing. I know you're gonna try to get him isolated and run routes against him. D. Brooks got that.
Yeah.
My second linebacker, because I got to give you a second linebacker. This is where I was like, okay, do I give you a middle backer? So Ray Lewis was in consideration. I thought old school like Sam Huff, one of the all-time great linebackers. I said, man, Fletch, you overthinking this. I call myself third place.
Okay.
I did third person. I went Fletch. I'm overthinking this. LT. Let's not overthink that.
Yeah.
He can rush the passer.
Yeah, that's hard.
He can cut. He's a game record.
Threw me for a loop.
You ain't got nothing for that.
I forgot he was a linebacker.
You ain't got nothing for me. Who's your guy?
So when we talking linebackers, I didn't even pick my quarterback yet, but I'm gonna go straight to the running back. And this is a guy who no linebacker, no corner, no safety, no defensive lineman wanted to see. None other than the best running back of all time. They probably don't give him the credit for it, but we all know. Because this guy here was told by his daddy that it was somebody else. That was somebody else was the best running back of all time. But he left this game early and showed the world that, look, I'm going to show y'all what it's like to be the best and leave when I'm on top. Barry Sanders.
You know what?
Barry Sanders going to catch the ball at the backfield. Half of his career, it was guys in the backfield when he was getting the ball, getting the handoff.
Yeah.
And he went 80. he went 180 because he had to do so much to get away from those guys, then punched it.
You threw me for a loop with Barry. I thought you were going to go Marshall Faulk.
I know you did.
Yeah,
I know you did.
You threw me for a loop.
I'm a guy I want a guy that's a dude threat, and Marshall was probably the best when it comes to catching the ball out of the backfield, doing what he did. But I had to think. I said, you know what? If they only give me one lineman, and maybe he might be the only lineman I got on my team besides everybody else, when it came down to breaking down things, who was the best of getting away from everybody in the backfield and doing the other stuff when it was clean?
That's great right there.
Barry Sanders.
I know you say you haven't announced your quarterback yet.
Okay.
So I gave you LT as another guy. You don't think your quarterback, whoever he is going to be worried about Lawrence Taylor? You got Lawrence Taylor
I think he will be.
And Reggie White. Those two dudes. Your quarterback going to have some sleepless nights. So who's your QB?
Well, in this area we came up in, we looked at greats like Peyton Manning. We look at greats like Tom Brady. And the things that Tom did made us forget of Peyton. And it was hard because I'm a Peyton fan. I wanted to play with Peyton. I was always amazed with what he can do as the quarterback position, how he identified things at the line of scrimmage, how he got rid of the football, how he manipulated people. And I just feel like, to me, I feel like he was just, when we was playing, was the greatest quarterback. But Tom had the last say-so of that. He said, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to win 7 championships. Yeah. And when they tell the stories now, when they ask Tom, on those nights when they hanging out and having a good time, having a couple of drinks on a yacht somewhere, they asked him who he was chasing. He said he wasn't chasing the guy who I put up. He was chasing MJ. So he wasn't even thinking about the guys in the NFL. he was thinking about himself. So the guy before Tom and the guy before Peyton was none other than the guy who I'm picking today, and that's going to be Montana.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana, 2-time MVP, Super Bowl champ as well. Threw the ball to Jerry, threw the ball to T.O. They got him up out of there, sent him to Kansas City, and he made Kansas City look like a winner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Joe Montana to me, was the bar. He set the bar, and it was great. Don't get me wrong. It was guys like Marino around him. It was guys like Elway. Marino didn't have the championships. He had the arm talent. He just didn't have the championships. He had the guys to throw to. But Montana was a guy that, even at his lowest, he made things look nice. You know what I mean? He made things bright. Yeah. So I had to give it to Montana because I feel like he faced all those guys that you throw at him. He faced your boy coming off the edge. You know what I mean? He faced all that.
This gonna be a heck of a team. I'm gonna give you my team again. Tanner, you can give them your team and then also tell them where they can vote at.
Okay.
But here's my team. To recap my team.
Yeah.
My Hall of Fame all-time team. As a D lineman, I got Reggie White. My 2 linebackers, Derrick Brooks and Lawrence Taylor, the GOAT. On the back end, I got Prime. I don't even have to say his full name, just Prime.
Hey, man.
And then I got Charles Wilson because he got versatility. Yeah. He can play corner, he can play the nickel, he can play safety.
I absolutely like your team, man. But just to be real, this is mine. My quarterback is none other than Joe Smooth, Joe Montana. My wide receiver is the guy who made him who he is. It's Jerry Rice. The other wide receiver is a freak of nature. I mean, this guy, you're going to throw the ball up to. That's why I say you need Prime can't stick both of those guys. So
I got T. Wood.
But I know T. Wood. But T. Wood don't want to run with that boy over there. He don't want to run with Randy Moss. So, T. Wood had his day, and I'm pretty sure it didn't go well. And my running back would be none other than Barry Sanders, and my offensive lineman is Anthony Moon Oath. The eraser.
Yeah.
And so, I've already told Fletch that he had no chance, but we're gonna lead this to the voters. We're gonna lead this to the viewers and the watchers. Go vote in the comments. Well, we'll see y'all next week.